So let me ask you a question. Do you like gacha games? That feeling of getting a precious character item that you wanted? That thrill of just maybe getting that 1 in 1,000 chance to hit. Seeing that brand new character smile at you as you get out of the shower. Well, there's some bad news, and honestly, it's kind of worrying. Now, if you're not familiar with gacha games are video games that implement some sort of gacha mechanic, as per the wiki definition. Similar to loot boxes, gacha games entice players to spend in-game currency to receive a random in-game item. This in-game currency, majority of the time, being acquired most effectively via spending money. Who saw that coming? Usually going through another currency to make it more difficult to attribute the money you spent in the game. And this applies to real life as well. I mean, gacha games basically started by these very machines. You put your money in, pull, then you have that special reward. And the best part is that it's random. So not only do you not know specifically what you're getting, but getting what you want could take an exuberant amount of money to get. Yes, we can use big words on this channel. And once you get the item, are you really satisfied? Maybe it's just time to move on to another gacha machine. Now, these gacha games have had a rather big rise over the past few years. Many players spending hundreds if not thousands to acquire those precious pixels. This most recent rise of gacha games is only really grown bigger, with the release of Genshin Impact and several other gacha games opening the arena. The gacha wars have begun. But do you want some good news though? Your precious gacha waifu or husbando isn't going anywhere. In fact, they're going to multiply. Multiply so much that you won't even have a wallet. Instead, you're going to be sending your paycheck straight to the game companies and they're going to be fighting each other for it. And if you play any anime gacha games, oh boy, you're in for a treat. Now, the worst part is, this isn't really a new concept. This isn't anything new. Hundreds of companies try to manipulate players into spending hefty amounts of money daily. The amount of money mobile games make is genuinely astonishing, and this has been happening for years. I mean, take this article about the guy who spent $70,000 playing Fate Grand Order. He's just having a good time playing his favorite gacha game, pulling for units, improving them, leveling them up, and spending more money. Now, if you haven't actually seen the video, I do recommend watching it. I'm going to leave a link in the description because honestly it's kind of crazy how much money he spent. But you know what the sad part is? The sad part is that the companies don't care about this guy. Don't even care. These companies are not thinking about the customers even slightly. All these executives at the top are just trying to get maximum cash out of you. And they could easily screw over a customer if they could make more money, which is the exact problem. Well, listen, I'm not here just to tell you that gacha games are bad. Like I said, this isn't anything new, but the biggest worry for me is what it's creating. The amount of gacha-like games releasing is only going to be higher. Companies want this. With more gacha games, there will be more tactics to take your money, and the majority of developers will have to do this. I mean, I can guarantee the amount of unenthusiastic and awful games that are going to be releasing will rise. I mean, literally just look at the App Store. The majority of games don't even have working games. Well, you know what does work? Being able to acquire those limited, can't miss out on characters. I mean, what world could you miss out on this? Now, if you're one of those people who makes an argument, well, I'm free to play, I don't spend money so I don't care, or I love gacha games, give me more waifus please. And maybe even you don't play gacha games at all, as a whole. You just don't play them. So maybe you just don't care. Just remember, the more this is accepted, the more of the norm this is. Like, remember when everyone's complaining about loot boxes? Well, the real problem is adverts in games. And then the cycle continues. One thing is more accepted over the other, and then everyone forgets about the real problem. And I think that's probably the highlight of this video. People will just move on and think about the next big problem, forgetting about the previous problem, and the cycle will continue. Now, some people may think this video hasn't been entirely positive. So, is there any good news? Well, if few years ago, Belgium banned loot boxes and it was reported on a lot. But some sources say that this hasn't really been overseen properly, and even if a company did have some form of loot boxes in games, they were never really prosecuted for it anyway. So it didn't really matter in the end. There are a few other countries planning to do this, apparently, but in the end, each step taken is always a positive, and if this makes some wider change, then just maybe we can pay money for what we actually want. I mean, imagine spending money for something and knowing what you're going to get. I've spent plenty of money on gacha games, and I actually mostly only play gacha games. They do have a factor of enjoyment, but I believe it's not really for the right reasons, so that's why I'm so eager for this to change. Like, imagine how great Genshin would be if you could log in and you could just play and unlock a character. But that's a dream. And maybe one day, we won't have to see people getting hurt by these practices. Now, if you enjoyed the video, please do drop us a big like. This video took a long time to make, and I'm curious what people think about gacha games in the comments. If you think that gacha games are good or bad, let us know in the comments. This video actually took me quite a long time to make. First ever time I wrote a script for a video, so hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, honestly, any like on the video is appreciated, brings out some more people, actually makes me put all this time worth it. But just before you go, let me say one last thing for you. If you haven't watched Chainsaw Man, please watch Chainsaw Man. We're not sponsored yet.